Bennett Group UK.
Leader of the UKIP Group, Gareth Bennett.
Diolch, Llywydd. First Minister, planning is an issue that is often contentious. One of the things that you've done in forming your government is that you've moved planning to the Department for Local Government and Housing. I think that move is theoretically a good thing, to have the same minister responsible for housing, for local government and for planning. This could hopefully lead to a more joined-up approach. Now, I wonder, does this move signify that your government believes that the planning process in Wales has to be more responsive to the wishes of local people?
Well, Llywydd, Gareth Bennett is right in saying that the purpose of putting local government planning and housing in the same portfolio is to do everything that we can to make those things more joined up together and to make the planning system more effective in delivering on some of our major policy ambitions here in Wales, including the provision of new and affordable housing. And that indeed does lie behind the decision to bring those matters together in the one portfolio.
Yes, I see that you need to make things more effective in terms of your objectives as a government. Sometimes that may cause conflict with the need to be responsive to public opinion. So to look at a case in point that arose recently, one of many that I could raise, we have the Hendy Wind Farm development proposed for an area of mid-Wales near Llandrindod-Wells, a wind farm of some size that was rejected by local people who submitted hundreds of objections to the plan. It was also rejected by Powys County Council, which also voted against the scheme, and additionally the planning inspector declared against the scheme when he made his report. It does seem odd, therefore, given this opposition from almost all quarters, that your Welsh Government has been trying to railroad this development through. Now, I'm not asking you to comment on this particular case, but do you think it is wise in future for your government to take decisions which can have a huge environmental impact on a local area and which seem to totally fly in the face of local democracy?
Well, the member is right. I'm not going to comment on the individual case. There is an important point behind what he is saying, which is that any of these matters is a balance between many different factors at play. The planning process is designed to try and achieve that balance, but any person or interest group taking part in any particular example will have strong views. In the end, these things have to be reconciled, and they end up being reconciled in a particular decision. Not everybody will agree with that. It's impossible to imagine that they would. But I think that the planning policy we have in Wales and the policies that were recently refreshed by my colleague Lesley Griffiths when she was responsible for this matter offer us the best opportunity to make sure that the process is able to hear from all of those who have an interest in a matter, to weigh up the different outcomes that are being pursued, and then, in the end, to make a decision to allow a matter to be moved forward.
I think, First Minister, of course, theoretically you're right. There is a need for balance, but I'm not sure how much balance there has been in this particular case. Of course, we're not necessarily just looking at that case. But I do think that there is an issue of local democracy at stake here, and I do feel that the people who live near Hendy do need more than warm words. They actually need to feel that the Welsh Government is likely to listen to them and to listen to their concerns. Of course, UKIP's position is that we support local referenda for major planning decisions so that the local residents do have the final say. Now, do you think if the Welsh Government proceeds with this turbine plan that the residents in Hendy and in other theoretical cases where there are similar planning issues, do you really think they're going to believe that the Welsh Government is listening to them? And do you think that people anywhere else in Wales facing planning problems would feel that the Welsh Government was listening to them?
Well, so with any constituency member of this Assembly will be very familiar with instances in their own constituencies where people with strongly held views and differing views about particular planning applications will come to put those views to you. People whose views prevail go away feeling that the system has worked very well and that their voices were heard. people whose views are not on the winning side tend to go away feeling that the system hasn't delivered what they were hoping from it. That's just inevitable when you have matters on which people have strongly held but differing points of view. The system we have is one with proper checks and balances in it that aims to provide all those people with strong views an opportunity to have those views heard, that takes into account expert advice alongside all of those things. I would much rather that we went about these matters in that careful and considered way than to have a series of referendums around Wales in which a winner-takes-all result will leave even more people disillusioned with the process than the system that we've explored so far this afternoon.